Hey guys, what is going on? Today we are here to talk about all the content that we can expect in the Season 1 Vanguard update, as well as talking a little bit about the content that we can expect to see when the Pacific Warzone update does come. We get the new map Caldera, which we are going to be definitely taking a look at because that is very, very exciting stuff here. We're also going to be talking about the DLC weapons that we can expect in Season 1, along with some of the maps that we can expect to see in Vanguard. Plus, Vanguard's actually a little bit broken at the moment. There's a lot of scan and repair updates that do keep coming up. The servers keep dying. Like, there's a lot of problems going on in Vanguard at the moment. And today we are going to talk about some of them here. But just before we do get into talking about all the stuff that we have to talk about today, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I want to be your Vanguard guy. If you do want to see more Vanguard content, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. We're going to have all the class setups. We're going to have map guides, content updates, DLC stuff, talking about all the things that are going to be around Vanguard, and of course Caldera Warzone when that does eventually come out. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is that the game is a little bit broken right now. As you may have noticed when you've been trying to play the game, there is a lot of errors going on right now. It's a little unfortunate, and it does seem to be a bit broken. I've had more scan and repair errors in the last couple of days, like the last day or two when I've been trying to record videos and stuff like that, than I have had in the entire time the rest of the game has been out. I've seen word on Twitter this morning that this is actually a result of the sort of secrets of the Pacific event that is going on to sort of celebrate when Caldera, when the new Pacific Warzone stuff is going to come out. I think I saw that they also disabled that event for the time being just while they were working on it. It might end up being back up by the time we actually do end up seeing this video. It definitely is a very goofy time for Call of Duty, and hopefully any issues that we do have with sort of these updates and these game effects and adding new maps and events to the game, hopefully they do get sorted out in the long run, because I mean, I'm still having a fantastic time with Vanguard, even if it is a little broken at the moment. Also, you may not have heard that the actual Season 1 update did get delayed slightly. It did get pushed back a week. Originally, it was planned out for December the 2nd, which is only in about a week or so, and then it did get pushed back recently about a week after that to the 8th or the 9th, depending on how you do want to consider Season 1 starting. I believe the last time I checked that the countdown timer on the Battle Pass was supposed to finish in about 8.5 days as of recording this, which does actually line up with the 2nd. But because they have pushed it back to the 9th or the 8th, depending on where you do live and how you do play the game, that is going to take a little bit longer for that update to come out. But as long as the update comes out in a fairly reasonable state, the game isn't completely broken, and we get some decent content, I'm going to be happy regardless of whether it comes out. I'm actually pretty excited about Vanguard and Warzone, the combination. I think that's going to be quite interesting. I've been working pretty hard to get some builds and class setups and loadouts together. Like, unlocking those attachments does take quite a long time in this game, so we are working pretty hard, but we're actually out of double XP tokens, so we do need a little bit of another double XP weekend here soon. Now, moving on to talking about some of the DLC weapons that we can expect in the Season 1 update from leaks that we have seen on Twitter. We can apparently expect 5 new DLC weapons in Season 1, which did, as I said, get delayed previously. It's supposed to be coming out on the 2nd. Now it's the 8th of December. Now, the weapons that we have seen in particular leaks have been actually the M1944 Hyde, which is very, very similar to the M1928 that we see in the game already. However, this is modeled after the assault rifle variant of like the Thompson, that style weapon. This is definitely a kind of gun that does fit this sort of style and the scope of Vanguard. From doing a very small amount of research, we definitely can see some different magazine ammo conversions for this, as we do already see the M1928 in the game, but then something like the M1944 does use slightly different ammo to that. So again, I expect this to be a very powerful and effective weapon in the game. This is basically going to be the assault rifle style of the M1928 that we do see in the game right now, which hopefully is very, very good, because everybody loves a Thompson, man. I do really appreciate this style of gun, so I look forward to seeing that if this leak is true. Something else that I did see here was the PTRS-41 rifle. Now, this is a semi-automatic tank gun firing a 14.5 by 114mm cartridge, which I would guess that's rather large. That's pretty big. Obviously, there isn't a lot of tank work in Vanguard, so I imagine this would act like a very hard-hitting sniper with relatively low mobility but great one-shot kill zones, probably like torso and up, similar to how we did see the ZRG 20mm sniper in Cold War. There is currently only 3 snipers in Vanguard, which is a little bit of a lame one because they are so popular. It's an incredibly popular weapon category, only behind ARs and SMGs in my opinion. So it's definitely a good option to see like an SMG, an assault rifle, and even a sniper added in the first season of the game, just to sort of bulk out the popular weapons list. Now, I did actually read the Wikipedia page a little bit on this thing, and there is an alternative to the big sniper style variant that we could get, and the wiki page actually does mention that the PTRS-41, that when they made this thing, they actually use a scaled down version for this design as the SKS, which is a marksman style weapon that we definitely have seen in previous games, so that is something that we could also see here. So I'd like to see the sniper version of this, but again, the marksman rifle style variant of like an SKS style gun for this is also a good option as well. Another weapon that I did also see in the leak could be a well gun. I've also seen talks of a grease gunner, which is an M3 grease gun. I believe that we have seen some of these weapons that are very similar to this before, and I do think that they do make good candidates for a game like this. Especially the grease gun, which is a super popular weapon back in Cold World War II. Now, I'm all for adding another SMG into Vanguard. I think the current list does feature some good options like the Type 100 and of course the MP40, which is still currently broken with that 2-shot kill. And even the ones that aren't get used as frequently, they're still pretty great too. So I'd expect a high fire rate, low recoil SMG with either of these being added to the game, and I'd expect them to be quite powerful in Vanguard. Personally, I would like to see the M3 grease gun over something like the well gun, which I couldn't find an awful lot of information on. I did find that there is a well gun sort of like SMG style like prototype weapon, and if we do end up seeing that, I will be very excited about that as well. So an SMG, an assault rifle, and a sniper does appear to be the weapons that we are getting. But they are also rumored to be adding a couple of different melee weapons to the game as well, in some nunchucks and of course the barong, a screamer blade as I have seen, which is not really a surprise to see that they are going to add more melee weapons to this game. At the current state, there is only like the combat knife, and as you can probably expect, they were always going to add more melee weapons to the game. They wouldn't just have a melee weapon category and only leave one thing in it. I would actually expect to see a lot of different melee weapons this year because it does actually fit quite thematically. My prediction is we will likely see some kind of spiked club just added to the game, and that's something that we probably will expect to see before the year is out, but that's just a guess from me. Now, when it does come to DLC maps that we can expect in this game, I'm not really 100% sure of exactly what we're going to get here. There is a lot of different scope that they can go with for maps in this game, as they have made an incredibly large amount of World War II COD games. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw some maps from COD World War II, or even more World at War stuff like we did see Dome and Castle. I'm always an advocate for those map remakes because I really do think they do a quite good job these days. But I think it is a little bit early here. We just received shipment, so I'd likely expect probably 2 or more original maps in the Season 1 update. Or even better yet, we could receive 2 new maps and then 1 remake. I'm a little strapped for ideas at the moment of what they could be, but I've always wanted Dome from Modern Warfare 3 to come back. I know they did remake it in a different game as well. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I know it was like an archaeological dig kind of thing, but I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, I would love to see that come back, but I don't think that is incredibly likely as we do already have a map named Dome in the game. Now, they could rename it, but again, it's just something that is a little bit of a pipe dream for me. If you do have any ideas for maps that we could see in Vanguard, make sure you do leave a comment letting me know what you do want to see. Now, I'd love to see something like Gustav Cannon come back. No, I'm not actually serious. That map was terrible, and if we see that come back in this game, it will likely be as a massive meme. But again, Gustav Cannon, no. And then it was the USS Texan, I think, the big boat one. I think that would be a terrible addition to the game as well. But something that I do remember vividly from World War II, of course, was the London Docks map. That's basically one of the only memories that I do have. I also wouldn't mind seeing Excavation come back from World War II as well. I think that'd be quite a cool addition to the game. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what we do have here. And as I said, if you do have an idea for a map that we could get that you'd love to see, make sure you do let me know. But that is going to be pretty much it here, guys, for the content that we can expect in the Season 1 update in Vanguard and, of course, Warzone. Talked a little bit about the maps, talked a little bit about the DLC stuff, and of course the Pacific map in Caldera that is coming very, very soon on December 8th or 9th, depending on where you do live. But again, thank you very much for watching this one. I do massively appreciate it, of course. If you do want to stay up to date with all of the Vanguard content that we do have coming up this year, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. We've got class setups, we've got map guides, we've got updates, patch notes, news, and all those other things to do with Vanguard. So if you do want to stay up to date, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, thank you very much for watching this one, as I said, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!